everyone to the 5th episode of Botsplash Talks. I'm Willem, Osuch, and I'm joined by Botsplash founder and CEO Anavekar. And today we're going to be talking about SMS communications. Aru, as you probably know, during the COVID pandemic, a lot more people, consumers and individuals, were growing comfortable with the fact of using SMS as part of their communication efforts. So I was just thinking, what are some best practices to use when utilizing SMS?
Absolutely. So, yes, to the fact that people are getting more comfortable with messaging is true. You look at it anywhere, your doctor's appointments, your friends, your group chats, everything is happening over messaging. It's convenient. People can pick it up whenever they want to pick it up, respond to them without like an outage of time, be available whether they are in office, outside office, or at an event. So SMSs have completely picked up, and that's why the enterprises are also making an effort to reach to consumers through SMS.
Yes.
Some best practices for enterprises to make sure their brand and reputation is presented well, their connection with their customers and prospects is handled well, and also overall satisfaction for their agents.
Yes.
We could put some best practices in there where each of the enterprises utilizing SMS are performing better, and it's a better experience for their customers.
Gotcha.
Some that I'm going to mention would be making sure it's personalized. You are talking to a person. I know in this industry, we say a lot about it's a lead that converts.
Yes.
Let's look at them as deals.
Yeah.
You've got a deal that's going to make it happen. You may lose the deal, but you've built that relationship for a future deal.
Yes.
So personalizing, welcoming them with proper messaging is very important.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Making sure you're using the same SMS number throughout the communication without dropping them down or without saying, oh, you didn't respond to this first message. Let me use a different phone number and try to grab your attention. No one wants more unknown numbers sending them text messages.
Yes.
So if you can stop routing, or if you stop rotating those phone numbers, that's a big win.
Sure.
The third would be whitelisting. You as an enterprise know you're either generating these text messages by yourself or you're using a third-party vendor to generate them. These are your phone numbers. Make sure you put them out on your website, you put them on your policy statements. Maybe it's an email that you can reference and say, these are the valid phone numbers from our businesses.
Yes.
So taking some of these measures would be nice for enterprises to build that relationship and show a legitimate communication.
Okay. And so you kind of mentioned, you touched on it briefly about, enterprising using SMS to, convert that deal essentially. So what would you tell, or what would you say about how SMS can help with conversions?
So first off, if you look at it, people are very comfortable. So any buyer or prospect that is comfortable on a channel, they are going to respond faster on that channel.
Yes.
So making sure that the enterprises are using a channel that is comfortable for the borrowers or comfortable for the buyer that is out there in the market only signifies that that buyer is going to respond to you very fast.
Gotcha. Yes.
We also are in an era where there are rules when one should or should not call. With text messaging, the convenience of making sure if the customer responds or if that buyer responds after hours, having tools in place that your agents can respond back to those messages is a great boost for conversion.
Absolutely.
If the buyer is available only between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m., you don't want to lose that buyer because your agents are not available during those times.
Naturally, yes.
So every bit of understanding where your conversions are dropping off, making sure is text channel the right channel for this prospect to convert versus putting your agents in place so that they can be there to help your customers would lead to proper conversions.
Gotcha. Well, so then if we covered best practices and we've covered how SMS can help with conversions, I guess to wrap it up essentially is what are some things to avoid when dealing with SMS communications?
Be very cognizant of where you're going to send the text message and when you're going to send the text message. If you know that someone might be a low intent customer or prospect, avoid sending them too many text messages at the very fast because you're building a relationship. Is it required that you check with them if they are ready now versus after a few weeks down the lane. Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
But at the same time, don't overly send them messages, or don't send panic messages as you might just lose this. Well, they might decide to not work with you and go with your competition. So try and understand what their sentiments might be. If texting is a channel that they do prefer, texting is great to build an attachment, but at the same time, don't drop your other channels that are in place. The other very highly used practice, which I would say to avoid, would be rotating phone numbers. Just because the enterprise decided to use some text messages that were not worded properly or that got caught in spam doesn't mean now you're going to remove those phone numbers out of rotation. What if somebody wants to respond back and the phone numbers are no longer in rotation?
Yes.
So don't lose these people because your phone number was spammy or considered spammy. So rather put in the right practices. Test a lot, grow slowly, avoid having too many third parties sending text messages based on where they are. Recently I was at a dentist appointment and all communications came through a short code. The appointment was over. Unfortunately, the appointment happened to get postponed and not really over. Before I sat in the car, I got a text message saying, please give us a review, and it was from a different phone number.
Yes, yeah.
I come home, I'm settling in, please give us a review. Do you want me to give you a bad review and miss my appointment, or do you want me to say nothing? And why are you now suddenly using two phone numbers? Because you have two different vendors for different use cases. Try and coordinate your vendors so that you're not sending different text messages from different phone numbers or area codes based on where the customer is on their journey.
Of course.
Area codes is very important. Does local area code make sense in most businesses? Yes, it does. If I'm in a 704, I get a text message from 704, tendencies I will look at it. But if you're a business that does business only from Atlanta or from a 404 phone number, use that. You're an established business doing business from Atlanta. Just use your local phone numbers, even though you might be helping customers across the nation. So see what's best for your strategy. Always A/B test, see what works, and move that practice a little higher up to capture a larger market.
Okay, wonderful. Well, this was incredibly insightful. I hope you guys found some use out of this and know more about SMS communications. I'm Willem Osuch. This was Anavekar. Thank you for watching Botsplash Talks.
Thanks, guys.